Good evening. This is Mark Lisowski, and this is my final report for English 101. Today in the audience I have Tim, Alex, and I have Mike doing my camera work. Thank you. I'm going to be talking to you about renewable energy, and more importantly, I'm going to be talking to you about solar energy. I'm going to get into a little bit more about solar energy. Renewable energy can come from wind, rain, sunlight, the tides, the ocean, geothermal heat, and there's a few other in there that I have not put, but we're going to be talking about solar energy. These types of energies can be naturally replenished. They're not mined from the earth. They cannot be mined to exhaustion, and it's free, moreover. I showed a couple pictures here of solar panels and wind turbines and a dam, a water hydroelectric dam. I'm going to give you a little visual aid here to talk about the burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are what our nation consists of burning. And these release toxins that are pollutant to the air. It's also strictly attributed to global warming and acid rains. It creates a greenhouse effect which releases CO2 in the air, and it raises the temperature. It's bad for agriculture. The acid rains become the form of water pollution, so it's in the water you drink, and it's also in the water that the farmers use for agriculture. Sometimes there's the release of radioactive elements when you burn coal ash, and this is can go into your air and your water. I got a question for you guys. The annual deaths from auto accidents, what do you think that could be?
300,000.
No, it would be 1 million, but that was a great guess. And then the next question I have here is the annual deaths from air pollution.
50,000.
The answer would be 3 million. 3 times as much deaths from air pollution that there is from vehicle accidents. And the way we use energy today consists mostly of the burning of fossil fuels. I have a pie graph here that shows 40% comes directly from petroleum. You also have natural gases and coals, and only 7% are coming from renewable energy. That's due right now to the high cost of making the solar panels and the materials that so some other negative effects from the burning of these fossil fuels and the limitation that we have. Gas was $1.20 in 2002, and today in 2012 it's over $4. Let's say $4.01. That's a 235% increase in the last 10 years. That's a lot. We need to look at those things in the way the economy comes. And I got these facts from the International Energy Agency. I have a few photos here that I got. Just from the carrying of fossil fuels, dangerous things can happen. The Exxon Valdez oil spill, which was an epic story in the news, it was heard all around the world. It destroyed the marine ecology terribly, in the fact that the animal deaths were ridiculous. It was 250,000 seabirds, almost 3,000 otters, 300 seals, 250 bald eagles, 22 killer whales, and billions of salmon and heron eggs. And some other things, the industrial coal smokestacks that burn let off so much pollutants that it creates smog, acid rain, and also disease, lung disease in some people. power, the sun will give off more energy in 1 hour than the world can use for 1 day. And then we're going to talk about harnessing it and getting into what photovoltaics is. So, photovoltaics is a process in which a PV cell converts light into energy or an electric current. This was first developed in the 1880s, and it's been improving steadily through scientific discoveries and more efficient and effective materials. It was first found out by a doctor named Ohm, who was a scientist, and he used a different material, selenium, which by now, through all their discoveries they've found different ways to do it. Some of those ways have been selenium, silicone, and something else that I'm not real sure on, and I will give you more facts in 1 second about that. But it is steadily increasing, so it is getting smaller. The earlier installed photovoltaic systems have dropped from about $50 a watt to $5 a watt to gain now. So that's a huge increase. We're not to where we want to be yet, but it's a great increase. Oh, here's the other one. The gallium arsenide is another one of the materials they use, and it's cheaper at this point and gaining popularity. Some practical uses for the collection of solar energy is definitely for agriculture and horticulture. There can be so many ways to use that. People use it for solar lighting, whether it's in your household or whether it's in industry complexes. I also have a photo here at the end of a plane flying off solar energy. There's a lot of electric cars in France that have docking stations, almost like a gas station. So the people pull up their car and the solar panel is set above. They can get in, pull in, plug their car in, and it's almost like getting gas. But once the initial cost is paid for the solar power, everything else is free after that. So if they charge a minimum, they will get their money back, you know, quickly. It's a quick turnover. Heating water, a person at home could get your own solar panel, and like I said, that's, you know, about $5 per watt. So to heat your own house, you would probably cut your cost in half to heat your house. Again, the only problem is the initial startup cost because the products or the materials are so high. Heating, cooling, and venting. Thermal chimney works. It collects the heat in the chimney. There's a panel that collects the heat in the chimney, and then it raises up and gets rid of the heat. It dissipates the heat, so your house is cooler. Cooking, obviously, because solar power has been used for cooking even before photovoltaics or any kind of solar panel material was made. People start fires with magnifying glasses, which is the usage of the sun. The world's largest solar collection system used for cooking is capable of cooking 35,000 meals per day, and that's somewhere in India. I think that's a pretty great system to be able to feed people that are hungry at a low cost. And my last slide here is just to remind you of the costs of solar panel technology now, but that it's ever increasing, through scientific advancement, we can help to eliminate pollution and other problems associated with burning fossil fuels by implementing the use of solar energy and any chance we get. Through funding and new scientific development, they're projecting that in 40 to 50 years from now, they could be able to make the biggest solar panel, send it out close to the sun, and be able to send the energy back to Earth and power the Earth as much as we need. So, like I said, right now it's only 7% renewable energy that the Earth uses. Our mines can't be mined forever. They can't be mined to exhaustion, or there'll be nothing left. And to fund these causes and battle these causes would be a worthwhile investment in order to keep the future alive for the next generation, and also to be able to lower our costs for gasoline, medical care due to lung disease, and any other problems that come from the burning of fossil fuels. This is the picture of that projected solar panel, and I think it's really neat. It should be looked into. People can fund it. It's also personal funded. And a man, Joseph Schuster, who wrote a book, Beyond Fossil Fuels, he said that energy dependence is not really a single issue. Our economy as a way of life is dead in the water without adequate, clean, reliable, inexpensive energy. If not, we'll always be stuck with the burning of fossil fuels, and that might not go on forever, and we don't know that what detriment this will bring to society. And that concludes my report, unless any of you guys have any questions.
Yeah, I had one question. The solar panels in space, the one that projected in the future we're going to be using, they like have their own system rotating around or revolving around the Earth, or are they on the moon? Do you know where they are?
It is a solar satellite, so we'll be revolving around the sun, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, so you can't quote me on that. I can look it up for you and get you the answer, but I believe it does rotate around the sun to collect it at the certain points. And the delivery system, I'm also not sure about how they deliver it back down here to be converted into energy. But if you'd like, I can look that up and get that to you.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Okay, thank you for listening.